Hello and welcome to Ziggy Lucet 2 drop stitch and splices. Now we're going to turn the lucette, we stitch to centre, we cast it over, you snap it shut, away you go, and all of a sudden something's not working. We're basically a stitch short of a shoelace. Now before I tell you how it happened, I'm going to tell you how to get out of it. What we need to find is the left loop, and the left loop is directly attached to the working thread. So we'll try this one. No, it's not that. So if we turn it over, let's try this one, and there we are. That is the real left loop. Now that tells me that this is the right loop, and we've got three positions here. We've got a top, we've got a bottom, but we've also got a back. I'm going to go to the back of the right loop, going to grab it, drag it round the outside of the fork and bring it round to the front. I've now reconstituted the right loop. I'm going to cast it over, I'm going to snap it shut, and we are now back on track. Now, how does it happen? There are two ways to go. What happens usually is you've brought it to centre, you take it over, and just at the last possible second as you're snapping it shut, it flips forward and suddenly you're in a lock. So again, we back pull, bring it back to the centre, over the top, snap it shut. The other way that it happens quite often, and I keep telling students this, when you've snapped it shut, you're going to guide this thread round to the right fork without disturbing it, so you've got a perfect 2/3 gap, you've got a 1/3 stitch, you've got plenty of space over the top. Snap it shut, don't pull on the turn. Of course, if you do pull on the turn, we're in that same scenario, aren't we? So yet again, we're going to back pull, bring it round to the front to reconstitute it, over the top, snap it shut. We've now recovered from a drop stitch. There is a stitch of doom, but we'll save that for another video. Now, splices, fairly simple splices. You come along with your new thread, you pass it through the middle, leave a tail of about 10 inches or a foot, whatever. We're going to pick up both threads as one, and we carry on lusetting. Now first stitch, I've pulled one, I cast one, snap it shut. Second stitch, I'm pulling one, I'm closing one. Third stitch, I'm now picking up two and closing one. And fourth stitch, pick up two, close two, one more stitch, and that is now locked in solid. Usually I do a few more. I'll run, well, whatever, I can run 10 or a dozen, whatever. But when you've had enough, or you're starting to run out with one of the colours, the one that's going, then what you're going to do, and here it comes, I'm going to separate it. I'm going to pull that blue out. We're going to pull it out and just let it dangle. I'm now going to just pick up the yellow, and again I'm going to bring two threads to centre, cast it over, only this time when I snap it shut, only one thread is going to close, and that's going to be the yellow. So the blue, I can simply pull it out. We're going to simply let it stay. In other words, we'll just leave it at the side of the cord. And now you continue just with the yellow, and you've got a perfect splice there. There's no way that's going to come apart. And you can go back later and just snip those tails off very close to the cord. What I would do is roll the cord first to try and flatten it down. Then I would cut the tails, and then I would stretch the cord, and the tails will just tuck themselves inside. So there is a splice with two colours. Now you get a bit of a motley changeover from one to the other. There's another way of doing splices, and this is my preferred method. Now what you're going to do is you've got a stitch here on the back of the right fork, so I'm going to come along and I'm going to put that thread through the stitch. We'll just get it through there, a bit tricky. We've got a, I'm just going to stick my finger in there so I don't lose that loop. And what I'm now going to do is I'm going to bring in my second colour and I'm going to pass it through the loop that I've created there, and I've now got a loop to loop contact like so, and I'm going to continue lusetting. Now the join's going to be a little bit thicker, but it's worth it. Wait until you see what happens. Now I'm going to keep on stitching. Eventually, bring it over. Eventually we're going to lock the blue. We're going to be running on pure pink, and here it comes. There we go. Now the blue has gone. We're now running on pure pink, and this is what I like about the loop-to-loop contact. You get a change of colour which is absolutely sheer, and that's what I love about it. So if you have to change threads and it happens to be the same colour, you can do the first splice or you can do loop-to-loop contact. This one's a bit fatter, so it'd be more noticeable, but if you do have to change colour, then I like to emphasise that contrast, and I think that looks rather good. So drop stitch and splices, they're in the DVD. Three hand techniques, frogging and piping, which is on the beginner's workshop, that's also on the DVD. An advanced lusetting booklet, that's also in the DVD, along with loop ends, along with starting, finishing, along with triples. So thank you for watching.